Salutations everyone and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you what mattered in the news this week. Star Fox Zero is finally out, so you can all keep calm and no barrel roll! So yeah, Star Fox Zero is finally out, along with Star Fox Guard for freezies. If you're interested in that security camera game with Slippy Toad and his uncle or dad or grandfather, I don't know, Grippy, weird name. Anywho, the game is finally out. The reviews have been mostly mixed, but usually pretty good. Obviously, a lot of people have some problems with the control schemes using the Wii Pad and the television in conjunction with one another. I myself just got the game, so I have yet to play it and I'm about to stream it here in a little bit after filming this. Fuck. God damn it, the fucking the camera. But I'm definitely excited. The first Star Fox game to come out in 2 generations. We didn't get anything on the Wii. And on the GameCube, the last one we got was Star Fox Assault. And then we had Star Fox Adventures. And before that, the 64. I guess we had the 3DS remake of Star Fox 64, which this one is definitely trying to recapture. But it's been a hell of a long time since we last played a Star Fox game. And now we finally can once again. Along with Star Fox, we got a Star Fox anime that's about 13 minutes long. It was very, very cool. A lot of people have really appreciated this nice little short little episode here. It was very nice. It was a huge love letter to all these Star Fox on the Super Nintendo and Star Fox 64 fans. A lot of references and jokes with that. Looked animated fairly well from the same team as, Attack on Titan and Sword Art and a bunch of, people just grouping together. The frame rate was kind of wonky. That was, really the only criticism I had for it. But it was really good. A lot of people are now clamoring, we want a Star Fox anime even more than we want the game. So, I don't think we're going to be seeing that happening anytime soon. But it was pretty good. I definitely, got some enjoyment out of it as a Star Fox fan. I don't know if you're not a long-time Star Fox fan, if you'll get much out of it. But, it was pretty cool. Beta season continues on forward after the Uncharted beta, and we had the Battleborn beta and the Doom beta, which are all now over, and now we're in the Gears of War 4 beta, and then we get the Overwatch beta, and then, those games start finally coming out in May. So the big thing in gaming the past couple of years have been open betas, and I think it's a trend that's going to continue on forward. They've been highly successful, breaking tons and tons of records. Remember when Destiny open beta came out? That was the most played beta of all time. And then the Halo 5 open beta happened, and that was crazy. And then the Division open beta happened, and that was the biggest beta of all time. And it's helping them sell. And I think game companies are starting to see that trend, that open betas are really good press for them. And usually I know beforehand when I'm going to buy a game. A beta really hasn't swayed me one direction or the other until now. The Battleborn beta was a lot of fun, and previously I was I'll probably check out the beta, but then we have a bunch of other games coming out in, late April and May. And I was probably going to skip it just because I had all these other games that I knew I wanted to get. But the Battleborn, I felt myself increasingly having fun as the beta went on. It had 25 unlockable characters. It was probably the biggest content-wise beta I think that we have ever seen. Just with the sheer amount of unlockables that we've seen. It had both single player and the online competitive game modes. And it was fantastic. It was really, really fun. Also, the Doom beta was this past week. That one, not so fun. I mean, I didn't have any hopes for Doom whatsoever, because when they try to... they need to let that franchise die. Let's be honest, the last couple of tries that they had at this franchise were very, very poor. And I don't think this one is going to help their bottom line whatsoever. Neither will this open beta. It was a very bad mix between new and old mechanics. They should have tried to go one way or another. Most likely stick with the old stuff, because that's going to be your hardcore Doom fans. They're going to hate the change the most. So there were definitely, some okay aspects to the game. Some of it was really unstable and very, very bad internet connection throughout that entire beta. Some of the weapons were kind of fun. There was a lot of customization that make your character look like silly characters, like a lot of different color palettes. So that was, above average in the customization part, especially for a beta. But the gameplay was, they tried to do, newer things, and they tried to do some older things, and it was just a bad mix. And there were some things that were just inexcusably bad. Like, for the instance, on the controls, you couldn't change to a tactical setup where, the B button would be melee and clicking and the stick would be crouch or, what have you. That wasn't an option. There were some options, but there was very, very little that you could do with that. I understand Doom will probably be bigger in the PC community where, that kind of thing isn't much of a problem. But I found myself as a first-person shooter player completely unimpressed whatsoever with that Doom beta. It had very, very little to offer for older, gamers of the Doom and, the current FPS fans. I think it has little to offer either of them because you're not going to please either one. The Gears of War 4 beta, on the other hand, is out for anyone who has played the Ultimate Edition, and it will be opened as an open beta in just a few days. So that's been pretty fun, spending my time in. I was surprised on how little that they've changed from Gears of War 3 multiplayer to Gears of War 4. I knew that was a lot of things they were going to change, but it's Gnasher. It's all, Gnasher 24/7, outside of like the power weapons. There were some different things that they did with the cover, but I was very surprised in like how little the game plays differently than Gears of War 3. And of course, some small changes, different power weapons, of course, different maps. I've had a varying degree of successes with Gears of War multiplayer. But I found myself, it takes a while to get back into that type of gameplay. But after a couple of games, I got right back into my Gears of War 3 multiplayer groove, and it was pretty fun. So that'll be opened up to a lot of people for a long time. It's a super long open beta, taking plenty of feedback, of course, because that game doesn't come out until the fall. DC's Justice League Part 1 just started up production last week, and now we have some further casting news for you. Willem Dafoe has joined the cast as a good guy. That's all that we know. All we know is, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and, Commissioner Gordon being played by the good J.K. Simmons. So they took the best two character actors from this, Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, and they threw him in Batman vs. Superman. I don't know who Willem Dafoe is going to play. They say it's going to be a good guy. I don't have any theories or hopes for a specific character. Maybe it's a completely new character altogether. But we all know Willem Dafoe is a great actor, and I can't wait to see what they do with him. He was an amazing Green Goblin. Of course, J.K. Simmons was fucking J. Jonah Jameson. So it's going to be a little weird for some people to see him as Commissioner Gordon, but that was very good casting because he's J.K. Simmons, the Oscar-winning, amazing, everyone's favorite yellow M&M. And maybe we'll hear some more people being casted because there's definitely going to be some need for some additional characters, and we all think that Darkseid's going to be the bad guy, and we don't know who's going to be voicing him as of yet, so that's definitely be something to look forward to, as well as seeing other people in costume and other confirmations that we may or may not have in store for us for Justice League Part 1, which comes out November of next year. Lionsgate has released their first image of Rita Repulsa for the Power Rangers movie. We first got the logo of that movie a few days ago, and now we gotta look at Elizabeth Banks's Rita Repulsa. Obviously very different from the original, but I don't have any problem with it being different. They're going for a green scheme, which kind of makes sense since she created the Green Ranger. I don't know if they're going down that direction, but they're definitely having her a rebooted origin to have some bigger implications with the rest of the Power Rangers. So that will be quasi interesting to see. We know very, very little about this film, so I don't know if us old school fans can be excited about it. I'm at the very least interested. Elizabeth Banks has never played a villain before, so this is her first crack at it, and the redesign is very different, sure, but it didn't need to be, a copy and paste of that weirdo character from the early 90s. So I can get on board with this as long as we start seeing some other things that can get us actually excited about. So The Division just released another hot fix fixing bugs and exploits, and of course, just hours after that patch, people figured out another exploit for the incursion, which is a raid type battle, which is the endest part of the end game that we have thus far. Other incursions will be unlocked for free in the future, but there's a way for them to, instead of clip through a wall and get all the loot without having to fight anybody, or doing 1 billion damage against all the characters with the weapon swapping glitch, now people can somehow trick all of your enemies to attack the boss. I don't understand the specifics of it. They say that they're going to punish people doing these exploits. I don't know how they're going to figure out who those people are or how they're going to punish them. There's some people wondering how are they going to get, the legit players up to the same level as these exploiters. They don't have any interest in that. That is not something that's going to happen. The point isn't to get everyone to the cheaters level. The point is to get the cheaters back down to the legit players level. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to, find out, everybody that did this and how they're going to get them back to a more fair playing level. There's obviously a ton of problems in the Dark Zone, especially on PC, where modding and cheating is a much, much, much bigger problem because of how easy it is to do on that platform. But there has been reports of people modding and hacking on console versions as well, and just giving everyone grief in the Dark Zone, which was just a griefer's wet dream to begin with. So the game has problems. I myself hasn't fell victim to any of these problems thus far, although it's still pretty glitchy and I keep falling through the goddamn map. But I like the game, and I think that some of these changes obviously cannot be changed in just a server hotfix, that they need an actual patch to make sure that these things are no longer possible for those players, and then hopefully they can punish them. I don't know if they are going to be punished. I wouldn't be surprised if there was no way for them to figure out who did what, or what specifics go into that. We almost never see game makers go through with punishing cheaters just because of how difficult it is to find them and how to implement that punishment. But they say they're going to do it, so we're just going to have to, once again, wait and see. The amazing game of Rocket League for PS4, Xbox One, and PC gets a free update on April 26th. The Rocket League Hoops free DLC that we mentioned a few weeks before, just in time for the meaty rounds of the NBA playoffs. So it looks like a ton of fun. If you check out their promo for this new game mode, very, very cool. It's completely free. There's also some paid DLC if you want to get any of your NBA team flags on there. You just pay a small fee and you unlock all the team's flags to throw up on your nice little remote controlled car. And it looks super cool, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that. Any Hootie and the Blowfish, that is what mattered this week. If you'd like to know what matters in the future, get that subscribe button. One of these videos comes out every single Saturday. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave your comments below about anything that I mentioned this week, and I will see you all next time.